Chapter 3, Body Double. Riverdale is instantly becoming one of my new favorite shows of the year. I don't know why I like it so much. It is so just interesting to watch these characters act and how they are. It's just so intriguing. So let's get right into it. This episode really made me care about Betty's character more than I have in the previous episodes. Seeing her struggle with everything that happened to her sister, Polly, and the way her mom treats her, it really justified everything she did in this episode. There was a whole underlying factor of this episode about the way women are treated in high schools, just in general. And you can see that play out really well for what she does to get justice on some of the male characters in this, all those things that happen. And her character did really good. And one of my favorite things about this series is the relationship between Betty and Veronica. Because they could have easily made Veronica this girl we don't like, but there's something really compelling about Veronica, and I like the way they're going where Betty and Veronica, they're still friends. But some point they are going to pine over Archie. Yes, we're going to get into that sometime. But overall, Betty really shined in this episode. She was probably one of the best parts of this episode. She would have been the best if it wasn't for this one thing that I did not know was coming, and that was we have BARB. BARB from Stranger Things was in this episode. Shannon Purser, yes, Stranger Things was in this episode. BARB, who plays Ethel, a character who's from the comics, I know that much, and it is so interesting. Her character was so interesting. The way she told her story, everything about her. I'm excited to see more of her character in this. I don't think she will be a main character. It would be really nice to see, though. And then there's this one joke that, what's her name, Cheryl makes, and it's like, justice for Ethel, just like the hashtag justice for BARB in real life because of BARB's character in Stranger Things. And it is so interesting. It was so funny. It was really nice to see Ethel in this. Her character was really well done. Everything that happened with the football players and all that. And they can't make football players look like decent people in high school, can you? Because in everything, they're always these jerks. They're always these dicks. But what I will say about that, though, is I really liked Chuck Clayton. This character could have easily just been so boring and bland to watch and just be a douche. But everything about him, I really enjoyed. He's an interesting character. I'd like to see more of him come up. Every time he spoke, I just felt like he's never going to have a proper relationship with a woman because he's this much of a douche. And it was really nice. I thought at first he was going to be a nice guy, the way he was talking with Veronica in the car, and Veronica getting justice on him for the way he treated the maple thing. I can't remember what the maple was called, but it's slut shaming, and it's sad to see. But yeah, Chuck was just really fun. He's a really interesting character. I love to hate him, or I hate to love him. I don't know. He's just that guy that you're just like, I hate this guy, but man, I want to see more of Chuck. And on top of that, we got introduced to another character this episode who we've seen glimpses of in previous episodes, but we got full-fledged Dilton Doily in this episode. And man, this guy seems so crazy because he's a survivalist, and he shot the gun that Archie heard, that Cheryl heard, that everybody heard. And his character is one I would like to see more of, but he's, again, not a character I think would be main character. Whoever the actor is, good for him. He stood really good against everything that happened in this. And so, yeah, Dilton is going to be a character who I think will play a big, important factor into our overall story involving the murder of Jason Blossom. And we find out why they were at the lake that day, Cheryl and Jason, and it was really nice and interesting to see that it was because Jason wanted to leave Riverdale. We don't know why he wanted to leave Riverdale yet. Something tells me it has to do with his relationship with his sister. I don't know why. I just get those vibes from them. Twins always are just weird that way. There's something up with Cheryl, and Cheryl was really nice this episode. In previous episodes, I thought she was going to be a bitch, but she really was nice to Archie with everything Archie said about her and all that. I thought that was really nice. And Archie standing up saying, yes, I was at the lake. I know everything that happened. That was really good. All the characters were really well in this episode. No one was a big dick except for Chuck. And, of course, a character I have not mentioned yet, but somebody I really wish I should have mentioned earlier, Alice Cooper, Betty's mom. One of the things I love about this, and something you've seen in Gossip Girl and a lot of the other shows on the CW, is you get their perspective from the parents. And that's really interesting because I loved everything that happened with Cheryl's mom and then Alice Cooper. That was really nice. Everything with Luke Perry as Mr. Andrews, I'm super on board for. I love him. Everything he did for his son in this episode, all the talks, everything he had with Miss Grundy, all of that stuff. Luke Perry is just such a amazing person to see back on television. I love him. He's still my favorite character on this series. And then Hermione Lodge, another one, she's really trying to help her daughter, and I like that. And she reduced the sentence for Betty and Veronica, which we'll get into that right now. The scene where they have Chuck in the hot tub and Betty is just about to kill him, like he would drown, he would die. That was so not what I was expecting from Betty. And I figured out Betty's a loose hinge, that's why she needs the Adderall. She has these problems, and I don't think she will deal with them yet. She will talk about it when it's time, and it's so interesting. Betty was really great in this episode. This was a really big Betty episode. And that was really nice. So some of the other things I really liked, everything with Betty and Jughead doing the newspaper at the school, that was really cool seeing Jughead doing that, going to talk to Dilton, and then he goes back to Pops and he talks to the kid scout about, I know the way you looked at me, what's up, kid? Cole Sprouse is really doing this character justice. And at first I thought this was just going to be a boring character. I was not excited to see Jughead, but I'm really on board with Jughead now. He's a really nice character to see on screen. He's a nice guy to watch, and I'm really excited to see where he will go. And I wasn't really expecting that. I thought I would just be like okay with Jughead, but no, I'm really intrigued with the whole narration now. I'm okay with it, the story, everything he's doing, writing the story, trying to solve it. It's really interesting. And some of the other stuff, everything with Josie in this episode, Josie and Archie, I love the chemistry there. Josie's really intimidating. She's a really powerful female presence on the show. And they had the whole, kind of a smaller part of it was the underlying factor of the Pussycats being this African-American band and how they need to work their way up. And that's why they're called the Pussycats, because they're clawing their way up to the top. I thought that was interesting. I still don't think the name the Pussycats is a really good name for a band, especially in 2017. It just seems kind of offensive. But I digress. It's okay. I can get over it. And I don't know all the name of the members of the band, but Valerie seems like there's going to be something to do with her. They just set it up a little bit, the way that she couldn't write the lyrics and the way Josie was treating her. I feel like something's going to happen to Valerie. Who knows, maybe she gets with Archie, maybe something happens. I've seen that chemistry kind of flowing. But no, I'm really intrigued by Josie's character. I think she's going to be incredible to see later on in the series. And Veronica in this episode too. I was really, really happy to see Veronica in this episode because she stood her own. I like to see that there's a powerful female presence on this show. And yes, we are going to get a lot of that. And one of the things that made her character so good in this episode was she just barged into the male locker room. And even Archie's like, whoa, what the hell are you doing here? And I like that Betty was covering her eyes because that's something Betty would do. But Veronica just walked in, took charge. And went up, straight up, talked to Clayton, and it was like, damn, that was nice to see. The characters are becoming so good. This is becoming less about the murder sometimes, and I like that. Archie pursuing his music was a really good thing. This wasn't a really Archie-heavy themed episode, and I kind of like that. We get more of the side characters, but Archie, if we need the Archie element to balance out everything that's happening, because if it was just Betty and just Veronica, it'd be really crazy. But everything with Archie and his dad and Miss Grundy, his whole music career, him being grounded, all the stuff he does in this episode, it's really well done. This is a surprise hit for me. There are a few shows this year that have really stuck with me, that are new. The Young Pope really stuck with me. I love The Young Pope. I love Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events, and Taboo I think is all right. But somewhere in between all of those is Riverdale. This show has grown on me, and I can't wait to see more. So that'll do it for this installment. I hope you like this episode too. Tell me what you think, and good luck.